Well, hey everybody, John Ritlin here with Rapid Fire episode 83, and the first topic I'm going to talk about here is about, creating Pro Wrestling Sheet and a few others that broke the news that a woman has been added to WWE's writing team, at least for the short term. Somebody was backstage as part of the writing team at the recent tapings, and this may become a permanent thing, and somebody finally, a woman on the writing team that can, give a woman's input and mindset on matches, angles, lines, scripts, whatever, promos, all this stuff, have a hand in it and give a perspective, like give a woman's perspective. And finally, WWE can do this right thing and something progressive. And I'm sure they've had women on the writing team before and this kind of stuff, but this has made such a big deal. So who is it? Is it a former wrestler? Is it a current wrestler? Is it somebody that, has been in the business for years and years and years that they're bringing back? Is it bollocks? It's Dana Warrior. I want you to look at that face, because that's the exact face I fucking made when I saw this. Dana Warrior, as far as I can tell, is not like her late husband, the Ultimate Warrior, one of the most homophobic, hateful fucking monsters that you will ever find. And yeah, I didn't believe his Hall of Fame speech at all. I didn't really care about his Hall of Fame speech. I didn't buy it for a fucking second. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. You can call me angry if you want. But, so, somebody who only got in the wrestling business because her husband passed away is now at least a, member of the writing team for the short term. Was nobody else fucking available? Was Sunny not available? I mean, I know she currently got arrested, so maybe she wasn't. Was Eva Marie not available? Kelly, a whole bunch of other women or whatever, women that spent years in wrestling, maybe weren't all that good. I mean, let's be honest, Sunny was never a wrestler. She could cut a promo and everything, and did mess up her own career, but I digress. Sable, it's a good thing it wasn't Sable, because Sable sure as fuck never belonged in wrestling. But fuck, Eva Marie at least tried to take bumps, even though she wasn't very good, and she's kind of a nut. But let's go to women like Kelly, who got passable in the ring. Candice Michelle, somebody that they've had out of the company for a number of years. Victoria. I mean, I'm not grading them all on a curve or this kind of stuff. Victoria, who's not been back with the company for 10 years. Went to Impact Wrestling shortly after WrestleMania 25 and has been kind of blacklisted from the company, seemingly. Should have been in the Women's Royal Rumble. Somebody who has bumped in the ring, bled, sweat, paid the price, beaten their body up, broken bones, torn ligaments. I'm not saying I wish injuries, but that beat their bodies up and paid the price to be in wrestling. But no, they can't have it be a woman that actually earned a spot in wrestling. They have to have it be somebody that is only there because her husband passed away. And to my knowledge, is not somebody that does anything except hogs the damn spotlight. So at least she learned that from her late husband. Now, people could say, oh, but what about Vickie Guerrero? I could say something about that. Okay, Vickie Guerrero, Twitter game aside, as far as you guys know what I'm talking about, she at least made that character her own. When Eddie passed away, she became more of a permanent fixture, did well, that kind of stuff and everything, and made that persona her own. I give her credit for that. I give her a lot of credit for that. She at least respected wrestling. You could tell. Am I saying that Dana disrespects wrestling? No, I don't know if she does. I don't know her personally, obviously. I haven't heard her have any hateful comments like her husband has. So hopefully not. And she's raising her two daughters and this kind of stuff and doing that stuff on her own. So okay, the family person I'm going to put to the side. If I see evidence come out otherwise that Dana is incredibly hateful, I will revisit that particular part of the topic. But as far as somebody that doesn't know jack shit about wrestling, she doesn't. One, she never competed. Two, she was never involved in wrestling until her husband passed away. Her husband, who should have never been involved in wrestling anyway, because the guy was a fucking trash human being, and a trash wrestler, and a trash worker. They had to work with everybody. Anybody that he worked in the ring with made him look better than he ever could have made, than he could have ever made himself look. Because he was fucking rotten. You see, take his match with Rick Rude, DiBiase, even his first match with Hogan. Rick Rude, DiBiase, Savage especially. Savage was his best opponent. Other than that, name one good match the guy had. Nothing. But, let's get back to the whole thing about Dana Warrior. Having a woman's influence in on the writing team, however minimal, for right now, is a plus. Because women should be represented better in WWE. It's gotten a little better except on the pay scale. And the pay scale has a whole nother hour program I could go into where the women should be paid a lot better, especially based on drawing power. But the fact that women have been working really goddamn hard from top to bottom, NXT, Raw, SmackDown, all that. There are so many damn women that do work hard there. I have my favorites and least favorites like everybody does, but they should be paid better. But women having an influence on the writing team or whatever, and on creative, this kind of stuff. I just don't get how Dana Warrior can be that. She may be somebody that the women respect, and that's fine. I'm not going to knock that. If she is somebody that the women respect, fan-fucking-tastic. That is fucking terrific. I absolutely love that. But there's no way that anybody can sell me on this being a good thing. Because there are so many other women I mentioned, and women that are currently in WWE. Alicia Fox. I mean, yes, Alicia's had her issues, but she's cleaned up her life and this kind of stuff. But is still employed by the company. Has been employed for like 12 fucking years. Mickie James, who's had 2 stints in the company and has pretty much been given a lot of bullshit in the last, couple years. Natty, Natalya, other women. I mean, the Iconics have been in wrestling. I mean, yeah, are fairly young, but they've been in wrestling for a while. Let them have some influence. Zelina Vega, so many other women. Becky, who has cut her teeth there. Charlotte, I give Charlotte a lot of shit for, maybe being given a whole bunch of spots and stuff like that. But performance-wise and whatever, she should be able to have, like, hey, maybe we should try this. And not necessarily put herself over. And I'm not saying that any of these other women will put themselves over, over others. But say, hey, let's try this or whatever. Let's try this from a woman's perspective, because you can't have a bunch of male soap opera writers or Hollywood writers that are mainly guys write for women. I mean, that's just not how it works, especially when they don't respect wrestling, or at least they don't know about it. They may not disrespect wrestling, but they don't know anything about it. That's just the one core thing about this Dana Warrior, inclusion I just don't fucking get. It's not a good idea. It's just not a good goddamn idea. For somebody that is only there because her husband passed away. If her husband hadn't passed away, guarantee you she would not be on TV. Now maybe she does some good charity work and this kind of stuff. Maybe she is a good person deep down. I don't know. I see her as a glory hound because that's how I see her whenever she's on TV. And she was also the same person that got upset at Dolph Ziggler when he was impersonating all the superstars and ran around the ring and impersonated the Ultimate Warrior, and she got upset. Dana, you're upset because Dolph is a better wrestler, worked better than your husband ever could work, and did the persona better. Because that's all Warrior ever was a persona. Now, people loved him as a kid. I loved him as a kid until I was about 10 years old, and then when he retired Randy Savage, I fucking hated it. But, then again, I was a Randy Savage fan, like pretty much from like age 4. But the point is, they need to include women that actually have been in the ring or have been around wrestling for a while. I'm sorry, but Dana Warrior is not going to be the one that's going to turn the tide on this and have the women be used better. Hopefully WWE realizes this and has other women included in on this. Active women and women of the past. Some of the women I mentioned, probably Victoria. I'm not saying they can't have Candice included, but as far as somebody that's worked years and years and years, Victoria would be a good choice. Ivory, Beth Phoenix, Lita, Trish, Molly Holly, so many other women. Are there other women I mentioned? Sure. Please let me know in the comments what women you would suggest. But I'm going to move on from that. Just fuck this idea of Dana Warrior being on the writing team because she doesn't fucking deserve it. Just the mere idea of it. It's not even fuck the person, just fuck this idea. But then we get Ronda and Becky, the Twitter beef. You're really going to have to check out Ronda and Becky's timelines and everything. Go to tweets and replies and check that shit out because I'm not going to be able to encompass it as well as they did, obviously, because they were the ones that composed the tweets. You can tell Ronda was the one that composed her own tweets, too, because they made no goddamn sense. And, but of course, this is the same woman that on Raw said, what does she expect me to do? Cut off my hair and wash her feet with it? I will not let that go. In fact, I have ideas for merch, and I might include that on a t-shirt. Just with the logo and stuff like that. I don't know. But anyway, let me know if you got merch ideas. Hit me up on Twitter. But yeah, Ronda and Becky having this thing. It started with Becky, the mugshot t-shirt and stuff like that. And Ronda responded about, taking fake prison photos, like in the hallway and this kind of stuff. Okay, that was a pretty funny line. Again, there's more to it. But that's pretty much the gist of it. That was pretty funny. Ronda then Becky responding back, like, keep the F word out of your mouth, this kind of stuff, the word fake. And then Soup had a Photoshop of Becky's face on James Franco's body from the Disaster Artist, and with the line "What is line?" because James Franco was playing Tommy Wiseau from The Room and all that stuff. And if you don't know who Tommy Wiseau is, you're probably completely in the dark right now. The Room is, by the way, fucking amazing. See The Room, then see Disaster Artist. Both are great. But the whole thing is Becky was just firing back with all this stuff and everything, and then there was this picture up of Becky putting, Ronda in to disarm her, like, the Raw Before Survivor Series when the whole face break thing happened. And, when Nia was stupid, because Nia is stupid and bad at everything. But then, so it's like the whole thing of like where Becky's got the arm and it's got the arm facing up straight towards the camera. And Ronda's like, oh, it's a fake armbar, your fake armbar and this kind of stuff. It doesn't look like it hurts anybody. So right there, Ronda's cutting up the whole damn thing of like, the move. So when she has to sell it at Mania, it's going to look really fucking bad. And then she says, it looks like the dick you wish you had. Now, for somebody that doesn't want anybody to talk about what she does with her genitals, having kids, she seems to care a whole lot about, about who has a dick and who doesn't. But then again, Ronda's made plenty of transphobic comments in the past. And I mean, hateful comments. It's one thing to make jokes, because everybody makes jokes. I make jokes to plenty of my gay friends and stuff like that. But they know they're jokes. I don't make them hatefully. So that's really just my whole damn point there. Ronda's not good at Twitter. She ain't necessarily that good of a person either. I mean, yeah, she's done some good stuff charity-wise and all this stuff, but Ronda really isn't all that good of a goddamn person. But then Becky fires back and superimposes or photoshops Ronda's husband's face on the arm and says, you're right, it does look like a dick. And folks, I'll be right back. So as I was saying, yeah, Becky's like, yeah, it does look like a dick, and then the whole thing of Josh Brown's face on there. And that was fucking amazing. That was absolutely fucking amazing. I could not fucking believe how funny that was. And then Ronda just gets all upset or whatever. I don't care what the script says. I'm going to beat the shit out of you the next time I see you. This is a superstar that they are pushing, and it made the champion for 6 months. And then Becky's like, are you still mad, bro? You went full Russo. Never go full Russo. Check out all the stuff and everything. The stuff on the timeline. It's absolutely fucking amazing. But let me tell you, one, if it's a work, it's a brilliant work. I will give Ronda and Becky full credit for what they did. But apparently WWE may not have been happy with the language and stuff like that. Now, I get it. I get it. Ronda gets fired up about this stuff and everything. Am I saying that she disrespects wrestling? She kind of did with the whole thing, talking about, the word fake and that kind of stuff and script and shooting down all this stuff. It wasn't exactly the best way to do this. It was not the best. It was not the best way to properly push this feud. She stuck her foot in her mouth, and I quite frankly really hope that Ronda does leave after Mania. But yeah, this has been... This has not been good. It's not a good look for Ronda. Ronda's looking pretty goddamn bad here. Like, honestly, using the words that she used. Yes, we know it's sports entertainment. We know it's fake. We know it's all this kind of stuff. Okay, predetermined. It's not fake. It's predetermined. We all know fake in the sense that we already know who the winners are, but the moves are real, and the impact and everything and the bumps they take are real. It's predetermined. It's all that stuff and everything. Here is my main issue with Ronda. She's come across as incredibly entitled, incredibly bitchy, and for somebody that they rolled out the red carpet for, she seems like she's being ungrateful. Now again, this could be a total work and we could be buying into it, myself included, we could be buying into it, hook, line, sinker, but it's a pretty fucking dumb thing for her to say. So Ronda's really being goddamn stupid. Now, I know, again, I could be getting caught up in the work and everything, but I will say this, that if Ronda, wants to keep putting her foot in her mouth like this, don't bring her back after Mania. Have her put over Becky, or maybe have it go to Backlash. Have Becky beat Ronda straight up, because it'll probably be a triple threat. Becky will beat Charlotte, and then Ronda will lose the title. and then Becky will have the championship, and Ronda will, job to Becky at Backlash, and then Ronda will go away. And if Ronda never comes back, look, Ronda has been superb in the ring. Better than I thought as far as, how green she is, how much she's caught on to this. She's had very good match after very good match. Didn't really care for the match with Nikki Bella because it went on way too goddamn long. But because Ronda should have wiped the floor with her, but still, at least, Ronda has caught on as far as in ring. Anything else? No, she's pretty much a fucking idiot. She's done some good charity work, and she's done some good stuff like that. But honestly, Ronda doing this, really not a very good look. So, yeah. Now I'm going to finish up with something where I'm just going to be very, very brief about this. WWE has too many pay-per-views. But before I do that, folks, I want to bring a guest on here. I'm bringing a guest on to lighten the mood. But anyway, WWE has too many pay-per-views, much like my cat has too much tail because it's here on the camera. So, they have too many pay-per-views. They have been doing the worst way. They've been hyping up the road to WrestleMania too much. I'm going to touch on this more with the Derb, possibly another rapid fire or a real honest rant instead of a game stream sometime this month. But let's take a look at how many pay-per-views they've had. Let's just go to like SummerSlam. Okay, SummerSlam, and then they had Hell in a Cell soon after, and then like a few weeks after. And then they had Super Showdown. And then they had Evolution. And then right after that, they had Crown Jewel. And then they had Survivor Series. And then they had TLC. And then after that, they had enough weeks to actually hype up the Rumble pretty well and do all that. Great. And then a couple weeks later, I think it was like 3 weeks later, they had, no, wait. It might have been 3 weeks. It might have been just under 3 weeks. They had the Elimination Chamber, which wasn't bad. It wasn't a great show, but it wasn't a bad show. But then, now they're having Fastlane. As of the recording of this video, I am recording this Friday night, March 1st, just in case this video doesn't go up until later, or in case you don't check the timestamp. They have announced 4 matches. Now, they're all championship matches, 4 matches. Now, I get it. Some pay-per-views are throwaway. I'm not expecting every pay-per-view to be a goddamn Super Bowl. But the whole point is, if they don't either A, start hyping the pay-per-views better, or B, cut out a pay-per-view here and there, all they're doing is, yes, okay, they have their own network. They have this kind of stuff. They're trying to drive up numbers. I get that. But it doesn't make them feel special anymore. They need to cut out everything between the Rumble and Mania. Make every single TV show, make every Raw, SmackDown, everything must see from the night after the Rumble till the night after Mania. The SmackDown after Mania also. So the whole point is for about that 2.5 month period, make them all must see. These pay-per-views are very throwaway and they aren't fucking needed. If they don't cut down some of this stuff, they're going to create burnout. The ratings are already, fluctuating here and there and this kind of stuff. Network subscriptions, I don't know how they are. I don't know how it is, but it's going to create burnout. People are already having an issue taking into account all the TV that they have. All the TV. Raw, 3 hours. SmackDown, 2 hours. NXT, 205 Live. NXT UK. 3, 2, 1, 1, 1. 8 hours right there. Plus the YouTube content that they have. Plus, any other originals and that kind of stuff that they have. But the whole point is 8 hours right there. And then the backstage stuff and all this kind of stuff and everything. So if you want to keep up on. They're trying to drown out every other promotion or trying to drown out where, hey, you have to watch everything WWE so you don't have time to watch anything else. Well, joke's on you guys because I still watch New Japan and Women of Wrestling, and I might actually start picking up that Chinese promotion, Oriental Wrestling Entertainment. Yeah, and I work full-time, by the way. But the whole point is, if you want to make it work, you can make it work. WWE, however, is creating a burnout with all this stuff, with all this content. Because it's trying to choke out everything, and all they're doing is choking out themselves. They don't get rid of some of these pay-per-views or make them feel more special, stretch this stuff out, whatever. All they're doing is just making it to where nobody's going to want to tune in. Now, I'm still going to tune in. One, I'm still a wrestling fan, and I also have this channel, and you guys love what I have to say and what myself and the Derbinator have to say. And also, I love, giving my thoughts on here. So, really, I want to pass this off on to you guys. What do you guys think? Does WWE need to cut down on some programming? Because quite frankly, and I said this in an unpopular wrestling opinion about NXT, NXT UK, 205 Live, cheap plug, they might need to consider cutting off 205 Live and just taking the talents, putting in between Raw, SmackDown, NXT, because not enough people are watching 205 Live. And then, NXT, NXT UK, this kind of stuff, you can include those talents in there. You can extend NXT to 90 minutes if you really want to include the extra talent. But they really just need to cut that down. I mean, honestly, I would just keep it an hour and this kind of stuff. But I want to pass it off to you. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. So that's where I'm going to leave this off. So yeah, and had some angry rants and had to bring on the producer. In fact, I'm going to bring him on just as I'm getting ready to do this. So do you agree? Do you disagree with what I've said? He doesn't want to be up here. So yeah, like, share, subscribe. Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. This is Sir. Rescue pets if you can. Because rescue pets are awesome. And I will see you soon.